4 or 5 different stocks that you like, stuff that you probably use every day. If people know they can come to your OnlyFans and learn how to produce a track, they're gonna subscribe. Do this for years. This is long term. Hey, what's going on, y'all? So we're gonna go ahead and discuss the elephant in the room. Juneteenth. So some people have mixed emotions. Yes, they gave us a holiday, Juneteenth. Yes, it's symbolism. It can be some good out of it, but we don't want people to think like, okay, yes, we're moving along, life is changing because they gave us a holiday. So first of all, yes, we're celebrating Juneteenth, which Juneteenth was first when we first heard about it. It was 1865, June 19th. That's when everybody first said, "Oh, the slaves are free," when they came and told us. But in reality, they were supposed to be free. January the 1st, 1863. That's when the papers were signed, January the 1st, 1863, when the slaves were in America, were free, supposed to be free. Now, why it took 2 years, a little bit over 2 years, for the word to get to Texas or wherever it was at for other people in America, because a lot of black people were freed at different times, depending on where you was at. Now, if you was in Haiti or something, they Freedom Day is a different day. But reason why it took so long to get to Texas or whatever, there's a whole bunch of explanations saying that the carrier was going up there to deliver the message and somebody hijacked them or stopped them, or maybe they just didn't want to get the message that the slaves are free, or maybe I heard Judge Joe Brown say that they sent the black guy to go tell them that the slaves were free, and they didn't want to believe the black guy. I mean, yeah, I can see that, but because a black person's coming to tell some white men, "Oh yeah, your slaves are supposed to be free now," I can see them like, nah. But I don't even know if that's actually true. I just know, and he's a smart guy, but he has this way of thinking. But so it's hard to say why it took a little bit over 2 years for the word to get to the people in Texas and all that. It's just hard to say why it took 2 years. So instead of trying to debate why it took so long, that the slaves were free almost 2.5 years before they actually knew they was free, still getting free labor out of them, still people getting raped, still getting beat, still getting sold, all kinds of stuff, right? So January the 1st is the true day that January 1st, 1863 was actually when it was put onto paper and everything, the slaves are to be freed. Now, they didn't find out until 1865, June 19th, which is the holiday that we celebrate now. Only reason why that day really, the holiday is symbolism, it doesn't mean, because black people have been celebrating that for years already. So they didn't give us anything, like, they didn't give us anything. It sounded like they gave us something. Yeah, now people might be getting off of work because it's a national holiday. It's a gesture. Reason why it's not doesn't mean, it means something to me, but I'm not taking it like they're doing something for me, if that makes any sense, right? Because that would be like being in an abusive relationship, right? And you go to court and the judge says, "You know what? Go on over there and give her a hug. Give her a hug. You're not going to jail. You just got to give her a hug. Now, I don't want to hear about y'all fighting again. Get on out of here. That's how I look at it. It's people out here fighting just for police officers to shoot an unarmed man to have to face some kind of penalty or whatever. And instead of saying, we're going to give you some justice, let's give you a holiday. That's why I'm like, it ain't that we don't like the holiday. It's just, it's so much serious stuff going over here. A holiday, it's like putting somebody's black person face on, what was that, the $20 bill or something, on money. I mean, okay, but you're not giving us money. You're just putting the face on the money. It's like, so all this type of symbolism is making us feel like, oh, they doing something for us when they're not doing nothing for us. So I do like the holiday. I just know it's nothing. Now, if you, like, it's just like police officers killing unarmed men, right? And sometimes, in some cases, killing a man with his hands behind his back, in handcuffs. If you're a police officer and you know there's a slim chance of anything happening to you, and if something happens, you liable to get sued. And on top of that, you're not getting sued. The county is getting sued. So technically, the taxpayers are getting sued. And the police officer, what I usually see. Now, I don't know if these are the reasons, but this is how I look at it as a critical thinker. They'll quit their job. They'll resign. And usually people resign so they can't have being fired on their record. And if they haven't been fired, technically they can go get another job in the next county or whatever. And sometimes they get fired and go get another job in the next county, like in the next district. So it's like a little game. So we want to see some change is to punish people for doing stuff that they have no business doing, even if they have a uniform on, right? And people would say, well, black people are killing black people. That's the spin move. It's a spin move. When we want someone to have to face consequences, instead of facing that, they'll start talking about something else. And it might, in both situations are right. Yes, blacks kill blacks, but whites kill whites. Mexicans kill Mexicans. Every race kills each other, but one doesn't have nothing to do with the other. I heard when I was talking about this one time, I heard somebody say, when I was like, yeah, the police, when a white man kills somebody, nothing happens, or the police officers killing people, and it was a white person, and their defense was, well, black people kill each other all the time. That's not a defense. That sounds like a teenager, a kid that doesn't want to have to face consequences for doing something wrong, right? They get caught stealing. Why did you steal this? Well, you didn't say nothing when such and such got caught doing it. That's the spin move. People do that at work. They'll get caught doing something they ain't had no business doing. Instead of admitting what they did, they'll start telling on everybody else. Like, that's not a defense. And if sometimes people go for it. What? I didn't know that person did that the person did that. And then they'll start going after all the people that the person told on, but they won't make the person that got caught doing what they was doing pay for what they supposed to have done. So this is why I think if there's no accountability, why would the police officers stop doing what they're doing? It's almost to say, I know I can get away with it. What am I worried about? And if they sue me, the county's paying for it. So, yes, I do like it that it's a holiday. But it's so much serious stuff going on that they're like, not even, and there's people trying to bring it up in there, but it's the lawmakers. We can blame the presidents or whoever president. It's the lawmakers. And let's just say we have some racist lawmakers, right? Or let's just say, we don't even know if they're racist. Let's just say they're used to living a certain type of way or the law being a certain type of way, so they don't want to change anything. We can blame whoever we want to blame. When it comes down to it, the lawmakers up in Congress and all that, you know, whether it's the House or the Senate, these are the people that control how people get sentenced. And it's different laws in different states, but for the most part, it's the lawmakers, right? So I don't want people to get too wrapped up with being so excited about a holiday. I'm happy, but I'm not happy. It's like, okay, okay. But at the same time, I know better. I know it's just a spin move. I see it all the time. See it every day at work, if not once a week or twice a week. You know, someone is doing something they ain't got no business doing, so they throw something out there, and then everybody get excited like something's going on. But in reality is, that's just to get your attention. Oh, we got a holiday. We celebrating that anyway. You didn't give us nothing. That's the easiest thing to do. Give somebody something that they're already doing. Now, a lot of people probably still didn't know about it. Because I think I only known about it for about 4 years now, 4 or 5 years, which was weird. I just didn't know. And so what I do, I don't go spend a lot of money or nothing like that. Is every Juneteenth, I make sure I go spend some money with a black-owned business, whether I just go buy something to eat or whatever, buy a t-shirt or whatever. I go spend some money with a black-owned, and that's what I did this year. I didn't do nothing extravagant or nothing. I went and bought somebody. I spent some money with someone. I bought me a couple of meals from a black-owned business, and then I made some money, and then I came home. So yes. So this is why I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked. They'll rather give us a holiday than actual give a punishment for the police officers who are killing unarmed people. And when you say something about that, and the police, it reminds, so this type of situation works. So they'll keep doing it. It works on everything. I call it the spin, like when they redirecting something. It's like catching somebody cheating. And they be like, well, I only cheated because you ain't been showing me enough attention. And then the person that called them be like, you know what? It probably is my fault. I should have been showing you more attention. That's a spin move. So when we be like, these police officers killing people, and somebody say, well, blacks in the neighborhood is killing each other too. And then we be like, you know what? They are. We need to figure out how to stop that before we expect anything. No, those two different things. Those are two different situations. Yes, the crime in the neighborhoods is terrible, and we need to figure that out. But don't get that mixed up with someone else mistreat. That's just like if you went to court because someone's beating on you, and they said, well, I heard that you used to steal when you was young. Let's talk about that. Oh, okay. What? And that's how people do. And it works. It works. The spin game, the redirect. I think I talked about it before. It's the same thing being used over and over and over and over in any situation. These guys are smart, and a lot of people ain't that bright. Or they smart enough, but they get so easily distracted. Like they can't chew gum and walk at the same time. That's what I'm starting to feel like. So they'll say, it was a long time ago, I was young, and these women were getting raped at a high rate. I mean, they were getting raped. It was so many rapes on TV, it was crazy. And I didn't realize it at the time because there's certain news stations that I don't even want to. It's certain news stations that they pump propaganda or they pump out stuff that just don't benefit people of color or Mexican, whatever. So I was seeing these women are getting raped because they're dressing provocative. If they wouldn't dress so provocative, they wouldn't get raped. And as a kid, as a young, I'm like, well, they shouldn't be dressing like that or whatever. It never stuck right with me. Yes, it can be true that women might be dressing too provocative, got their cheeks hanging out or whatever. And some people can't think of two different, you'll put two things together to make it seem right. Yes, maybe they shouldn't be dressing all nasty and everything, but does that justify somebody raping them? Never, it never will in my eyes. It can never justify it, whatever. It's like killing somebody. I'm like, well, he caught her cheating, so it was okay for him to kill her. So this is, I know I'm giving all these examples and I'm jumping all over the place. But this is why I have to watch out. Okay, they gave us a holiday, but they still won't. They just made a anti-hate bill for Asians, but they won't do an anti-lynching bill. Why? That's crazy. Oh, it's against the law anyway. But yes, but we need to make that federal. We need to make it. If you get caught lynching they gonna throw away the key and you're gonna be in there because it's still people that believe that that's okay. And it's still going on. But technically, we don't never really catch the people that do it. And they always say, oh, well, he tried to kill himself. Or like, he hung himself. Because they know eventually some people may get caught. So if we don't have an anti-lynching bill, but we can do everything else. And we thought the body cams was going to help us. Now we're seeing everything on the body cam, and they still say, well, we don't know what happened before the body cam come on. That is true, but we seen what happened when it was on. So that's the spin move. Once you get used to the spin move and you start seeing, okay, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. Once you can catch on to that, you'll start understanding why holidays are nice, but they mean nothing. You know? Like saying, I love you, and then I beat you down. I only beat you down because I love you so much. It's the same stuff. It works every time. The spin move. So, no, we don't. We know that they're not doing anything. We do respect the holiday to a certain extent, but it means nothing. If a person, just imagine if a person was working for a bank and they knew that if only thing would happen if they get caught robbing the bank or if they would work for the Brink trucks or whatever, that they will probably lose their job and might get sued. And even if they get sued, it's going to be coming out of the taxpayer money. They'll sue the county. So we want to take the immunity out of police officers. So just imagine if a police officer, if he got charged, it's easy to sue somebody for money than it is to put him in jail when you're a police officer. So they get sued all the time, but it's the county, it's the taxpayer paying it. It's taxpayers paying it. It's not the police officer. Just imagine if the police officers can get sued and it mess with their pension, it mess with their family's money. How often do you think they would kill somebody? Well, how often do you think they would kill an unarmed man? I ain't talking about if they protecting themselves, someone shooting at them. I'm talking about a person that's running from them and they shoot them in the back. How often do you think that would happen if a police officer can get sued and they would mess with their pension and their life savings? This is what we want. Even if they don't go to jail, mess with their life savings. I guarantee you that stuff will stop. Anyway, happy Juneteenth. Even though we know, technically we got freed on January the 1st. When we heard about we were free, it was on 2 years later. June 19th. So this is what we celebrate on June 19th. Happy Juneteenth. Checking the link for my merchandise store. I eat knowledge for breakfast. I got the Media Montana TV shirts. Support. All right. Happy Juneteenth. Y'all take it easy.